Hi, my name is Eduardo Pelegri-llopart, and I'm an engineering manager at Freenome. This is a replay of a presentation I made to the CS juniors at Cal State University in Monterey Bay a few weeks ago. It's part of a series about life after college, and that's the main theme of the presentation. So there are three main takeaways I wanted to convey in this presentation. One is to pay attention to your job and to your career and to understand that those two are two different things. The second one, as part of broadening your career perspectives, is to tell you a bit about how software is a key part of BioTech. And then finally putting the two of them together to point out that you should consider adding BioTech to your list of career options. So that's me. I was born in Barcelona. I grew up mostly in Caracas. I speak multiple languages, and I've been in the Bay Area for quite a while. So first topic, jobs and careers. I've been in a number of companies, and some of these names you'll recognize. Freenome is where I am now. And during my stay, I've had different jobs, from individual contributors to different levels of direct reports at different scopes. So those are my jobs, and together everything makes my career. So there's a story behind that as I move from one thing to another, and I try to think about how my next jobs are going to fit in what I've been doing up until the moment. So we'll come back to that in just a second. So let me tell you a bit about Freenome. Freenome is a startup. It's pre-IPO. It's growing very nicely. We're actually hiring right now. And the one-liner is that we're using molecular biology and machine learning to detect cancer early. So I joined because I think I can help Freenome in its mission to stop cancer, and I strongly believe in that mission, because I like the people that I've talked to at Freenome, and I strongly believe that life is too short not to enjoy who you work with. And because I like trying new things. I like to learn, and I had never done biotech before. So engineering manager is my job, my current job, but because I switched from HiTech to BioTech, this is a key part of my career, so that's a career move. Okay, so let me tell you now briefly about Freenome and about software. So what we do is a cancer test, and in a nutshell, this is how it works. The patient has some blood extracted from him or her, and that blood is sent to our processing site. That's where we do a wet lab. Some assays are done against that blood. Some data, a large amount of data, is extracted by some machines running those assays. And then that lab data has to be interpreted and processed by what we call a dry lab. So that dry lab will extract that from that lab data, some molecular data. And now we are in the machine learning class. So we're taking that molecular data, we're extracting some features, and we're using some classifier models to determine whether the patient from whom this blood was extracted has a particular cancer or is healthy. So that's the pipeline, and there is software everywhere in here. So there is software running inside the machines. There is software that connects the data from the machines to some external site. There is software that tracks the blood as it comes in and who it relates to, and eventually the result. There is software that does the dry lab, software that extracts the features from the molecular data, software that runs a model against that molecular data, and software that will create the result. Another perspective on what we do is now looking at from the perspective of the doctor that is placing the order for a patient. So the doctor will place an order, it will be sent to Freenome. The patient will take that order, will go to a lab, will extract this blood sample. All of those things have to be correlated. They reach the lab does the processing, the result comes back. So again, we have software everywhere in there, different types of software that do different types of jobs. Finally, here's another perspective about what's happening at Freenome as far as software goes. We have researchers that are going to do some experiments and some data trying to figure out what assays to do and what classifiers to run, what features are important, what models are the best that will learn from those features. And all of that is, of course, software. So you can see that software is everywhere in trying to achieve our mission, which is to use molecular biology and machine learning to attack cancer. So you can compare a bit what HiTech and BioTech are. Some of the things, the bullets are going to be similar, some of them are going to be different. For example, the tech stack in HiTech still tends to be Java-based, Golang maybe, but there is also some Python. While in the BioTech side, Python rules. We do a lot of workflows, data management, machine learning. The challenges are different. The product definition in HiTech tends to be quite malleable. You can move around until you find a good fit that will work for how quickly you can get the product to market and what the customers will accept. BioTech, the science is hard. If the biology doesn't work, there is nothing you can do. If the signal is there, you cannot detect whether there is cancer or not. If the signal it doesn't exist, you cannot read the signal. There's also a difference in number of stakeholders, regulation, multiple differences. So here's something that I think it's interesting is that the range of software we do at Freenome goes all over the place. Some of the software we do, the one here on the dry lab, wet lab classifier, that's very regulated, that's very hard. You cannot play with it. On the other hand, on the bottom right, those experiments, you have to move fast because your customers, which are the researchers, want to play around and enter new experiments, new assays and models. So it's quite a range. Now, my message to you is you do not need to know biology to participate in a biotech company. You can be a big participant, you can contribute very substantially, and I encourage you to consider it as part of your career. So now we go back to my career. I've learned a lot of different things over my career, different jobs and different companies, and all of them together is where I am. So my takeaway to you is your job is not your career. You are in charge of your career. You have to do a job. You have to keep in mind what is the career, what's the arc of what you're trying to build. BioTech is not HiTech, but software is a key part of BioTech. And you can participate and contribute. There are different challenges, different trade-offs. And I believe strongly that BioTech is going to continue becoming more and more software-based, and you're going to be able to contribute in there. So I would encourage you to think about adding BioTech to your list of career options, either now or later. So that was my summary. That was my presentation. And at that point, I went into Q&A. So that's my recast of this presentation. And thanks very much. And see you on the internet. Thank you.